Today, I'm going to reveal one of the worst PSA grading returns I have ever gotten. Also, just bought a massive Pokemon collection. We're going to take a deep dive because I don't know what's here. Alpal actually bought it. And then another thing I'm going to go over, we're vending our first Pokemon card show ever on Saturday, March 21st at Lakeview Square Mall. We're going to be selling and buying like crazy Pokemon cards. I'm going to show what we're bringing to the show. And you guys can roast me. I'm very inexperienced in this, never done it, but hopefully we have at least a decent booth and it's gonna be pretty hype. So let's dive into this collection first. Again, this collection was purchased by Alpal. It was part of a video game collection, with some remnants of that video game collection are here behind me. And we went over those in another video on Chase After the Right Price, but the cards are all here. And these were all just kind of like part of the bigger deal. Looks like we have a lot of promos. Oh my goodness, that's insane. The best card. Charizard from 151. I mean, I don't know what's here. That is over a $400 card right now, I think. And 151 is rapidly rising, which we have some sealed 151 too, with the Alakazam EX collection, the poster collection. Looks like this might be, yep, more 151 there. Plus you got stuff like this, which is really cool. And the ETB right here. I'm curious what my Pokemon card people think down below. If you agree that 151 is probably the best long-term set from Scarlet and Violet era. I really like 151. I also like Prismatic Evolutions and Destined Rivals, and maybe I'm missing something there, but those seem to be the sets that are just the coolest, that have the most cool cards. So finding the Charizard right there definitely is a cool one to find, and I like the art style kind of on a lot of these illustration rares and stuff. There's the gold Mew that's like actually metal, which is crazy. Mew promo, that is a cool looking promo right there. Very cool. I don't know what that's worth these days, but I like that Mewtwo as well. Very nice.
Some kind of promo?
Yeah, that's promo as well. Still, so all these promos still sealed in their baggies so far, which is cool. I think part of it is like I'll have to figure out what's worth grading and what's not. But I'll be honest, I think I'm gonna be a lot more strict than I have in the past. Like if it can't have the chance at a 10, I probably won't send it, especially for ultra modern. The thing that's weird, and we'll talk about this in my reveal later, is we had a lot of vintage and older cards where it's like if it gets even a PSA 7, it's like worth it to grade. You get a pretty good value increase, and it's definitely a return on investment that is positive. I gotta figure out how to do these better, because you guys will see I got pretty roasted on this submission, and maybe I didn't, I don't know. We'll look at it here. That is a cool looking card.
You gotta look at the red right there. You see it?
It's pretty clean, man. I don't know. Some of these might be grading candidates. These Charizards I'll definitely take a closer look at. Some of the promos. There's an Umbreon.
GameStop, same as the last one.
GameStop stamped. And Charmander GameStop stamped. And all I know is that we got a pretty good deal on these since they were part of the bigger collection. Love that Tyranitar. This is a pretty cool stack of cards. It's kind of random because that Ninetales is definitely a little bit better than some of the cards that preceded it. I love that Caesar card. We pulled that before on a Whatnot stream. So a lot of modern. I think that there's some vintage too in the collection. There's binders, there's all sorts of stuff. Even a Yu-Gi-Oh! Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's the card, man. It's first edition. But I think the really good one is the one that starts with an SDK. This is SKE. I don't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh!, but I know that Blue Eyes White Dragon is like the Charizard. So, hey, that's cool. That is scratched up. Clefairy, there's a swirl, but it's very scratched from base set to a bunch of random vintage non-hollows. I'm all about the hollows. Kangaskhan.
There's a first edition mixed in there.
Was there? Oh yeah, you're right. Magmar first edition. I definitely still lean heavily towards vintage for what I like. Those are beat up, but I love that Machamp from Skyridge. I wish there were more Skyridge in this collection. Holy cow. That's a cool Umbreon VMAX. Is that the Fusion Strike one?
Yeah, it is.
Shout out to that one time a Pokemon employee stole tens of thousands of Fusion Strike cards from the factory and tried to sell them to a card shop in one go. We should try to find that article and post the picture. It is the most insane thing I've ever seen. It is the.
What a dummy.
He's like, here's 1,000 of the Gengar, the #1 chase card from Fusion Strike. Will you buy them from me? I'll take $2 each. And they reported him, and he went to jail. There's 3 hollows. I love that. Venusaur, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite card of the batch so far. Maybe the 151 Charizard I like better, but let's see. Anything in here? Oh, that's actually a special illustration rare. Not my favorite one. But that's a cool Snorlax. I like the look of that card. Actually, this binder's kind of cool. We can check this out a little bit. The binder has been around the block for sure. And these are Topps cards. The cards have been around the block too. These are damaged, creased up for sure. Blastoise, Wartortle, Squirtle. It's like a kind of unique vintage.
You can see the crease.
Yeah, that one's literally bent in half. This is when somebody says they have a childhood binder, this is normally what I expect. Just creased up, beat up, and usually your best cards are the ones that are in the worst condition.
The corners.
Yeah, it's hard. It's probably hard to see in video how bad these are, but I can see creases on this Tentacruel. Like there's a crease right here. Corners are just destroyed. Same for the Machamp, the Bellsprout, multiple creases. The CATRP, let's go. It's our favorite Pokemon at the CATRP crew. That's right. So yeah, that binder's full of that, and then I think these binders are both just 151 commons and uncommons, so we won't dive into those. I want to show you guys what I have for the card show coming up. I've been talking to some guys that vend card shows, and I think it's funny that for us, our first vendor experience is going to be selling cards and not video games. But I think it's going to be fun, and it is in my backyard, again at Lakeview Square Mall in Battle Creek on March 21st. If you have stuff to sell us, please bring it. Bring your entire collection, bring your sealed, bring your graded, bring your ungraded. We want to buy all of it. That's really like one of the biggest goals, is we want to buy as much as we can. But we're going to have cool stuff too, like all this stuff. I'm trying to bring a lot of kind of out of print sealed stuff, and you guys might remember at the end of 2025 we bought some crazy collections. We still have a lot. There's Evolving Skies packs in there. This is like Sun and Moon era. So basically all this stuff. These are all booster boxes right here. Scarlet and Violet base. You've got like Vivid Voltage. Like some crazy good stuff up here. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the Cosmic Eclipse.
Yeah. There's Evolutions ETBs, a Cosmic Eclipse ETB, which I think is like over $1,500 now.
Yeah.
And we'll bring that. We'll bring that by. So that'll be there. Some Pokemon Center, Paldean Fates. Like, we're gonna have sealed product absolutely loaded, and all that will just sell at whatever TCG market price is for the time. Hopefully some of that will sell and go well and people will be excited about it. Yeah, there's even more down here. And I forgot, over here we actually have 2 more bins of card convention inventory. I mean, there's some good ETBs. Scarlet Violet, Silver Tempest. Here we have Crown Zenith. Zenith. I love this Rayquaza box. Double-sided. We paid $135 for that. That was a good deal, I think. I don't know what it's running these days. It was around 200 when we got it. That's kind of a cool Celebrations. That stuff's been going crazy lately. But now I have some slabs too that I gotta show you guys. Some I'm on the fence about selling, but if we get a bunch of comments saying bring the slabs, then I'll bring them. But I need to see some comments because it's stuff that I am leaning towards keeping for my collection. But honestly, like if other cool stuff comes, I want to have some really good trade bait, and I might be willing to trade into some really cool cards. So I'll show you guys that stuff. Okay, I got my binder, which I will show you guys. You're gonna have to comment, bring the slabs for that. These, I'm for sure bringing. I have no idea what this Onyx is. AGS, I don't even know if that's
just come in randomly.
yeah, I don't know where we got it. That's a cool Mewtwo. Ninetales is a PSA 10. The illustration, right? I love that card. Nice little tag team from Cosmic Eclipse, Venusaur and Snivy. Wartortle, that's actually signed by Mitsuhiro Arita.
Wow.
I believe. Is he the artist for the Gold Star Mew and the Charizard? You guys will have to let us know. But that's cool because it's PSA certified. This one also signed and certified. There's another one. Yeah, so those are cool. All these are going to be there. So there's some really high-end stuff in this stack that either I got a higher grade already or I don't need it. This one I actually bought for 50, but I think it's worth like more like 100. So that was just a good pickup. The Leafeon VMAX BGS. I hope somebody could cross that and get a PSA 10. And it looks clean. It's got 4 9.5 subgrades, so I thought that would be a fun one to bring. Beautiful Gardevoir EX, the Reshiram, Miraidon. Some of these I was like a little bit disappointed with the grade, but they're still cool cards. So we'll bring them. That's a cool Ancient Mew, PSA 9. Love that. The Mewtwo, huge card in an 8. Yeah. Another one of these Mewtwo EXs from Breakthrough in a 9. And then that's like actually over a $500 card, I think. Iono. I just couldn't care less about having that card in my collection. That is an unfortunate near mint grade of a 7 on the OG. That's from 2015, not the Celebration remake. I love the card, but don't love the grade. So a lot of this stuff is gonna, or all this stuff is gonna be there. And then my binder here is where things could get really interesting. Okay, Alpel, since you're gonna be running the booth for a lot of the time.
Are you actually?
I'm thinking about bringing it.
Wow. I definitely thought you were joking.
Well, I don't know. So, like, there's obviously some I would want to sell way less than others. So, they might be priced accordingly.
Yeah, I can,
But there's some cool stuff in here. Like the Tyranichars I'm not bringing.
I would assume.
I'll take those right out real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some of the Shining cards. Like, some of these, like, especially if I could sell them and then work my way into higher grades. When we get some 3s, 4s, and 8s. Like, I'd love to have 9s and 10s on a lot of these.
Right.
Gyarados, I'm not going to sell any of those because it's my son's favorite Pokemon. I'm working on a collection.
Oh,
But there's the PSA 10 Mewtwo, one of the biggest recent wins. That Gengar,
Oh,
10, all those from the same collection. Unbelievable buy. The Gardevoir in a 10. See, there's that Mewtwo,
Yeah.
but in a 10.
that Moltres, that's a, or Galarian. Sorry.
Yeah, such a cool
Moltres.
Moltres. You nailed it. You nailed it. Venusaur from Evolutions.
That's really such a.
151
So
Blastoise.
do you want to? I mean, 10s are just.
Basically, like,
on to 10s
it could
is-
almost be like considered a trade binder, maybe. And like, if somebody has something that I really, really want, I want to have something like this. So maybe we can either price it out or at least have it on hand for like somebody has something crazy. Because I mean, these are some pretty crazy. Like getting a 10 on the Spectras. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, those
That's
are
insane.
kind of forgot this
Absolutely
binder
insane.
existed.
Yeah. The Charmeleon, if that Techno got a higher grade, that would have been crazy. It still got a 7. We bought these in a collection raw, and I thought they wouldn't really do great, but they did pretty well grading-wise. And then, yeah, just some of the base set first editions in decent grades.
I mean, it would be cool to bring for people to even just look at, I guess.
Yeah. At minimum.
Like, this is a small local card show, so I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what to expect.
I don't either. That's the thing.
Like, what kind of inventory are other vendors going to have?
I'm
No
just
clue.
hoping that we're gonna at least be like in line with
Right.
what other vendors have. We could be far below, but I mean, it's our first time. We're not acting like we got this all figured out. We don't at all. So I think one idea is probably like just our full experience as a vendor. But then beyond that, like, what else do you guys want to see? What are some things that you're interested in? If you have any ideas, let us know down below. That'll help us have some ideas going in. But now for the grades, and Alpel, I'll have to get your reaction to these too. This is from
It'll be a reminder of the collection.
this is from a binder that we bought quite some time ago.
Right.
And this was the example of the collection from about 2016, a lot of the cards or older, and I didn't know how to figure out what's worth grading and what's not.
That is the tough era
Yes.
to decide whether or not like a 9 or an 8 is worth it.
If they're tenable or near, even a 9 or 10, it's like no brainer in a lot of these cases. But these are some high-end cards here. So this card, let's guess before we reveal. Here's the back. It's got some chipping.
It's got some chipping.
Just based on the back, it's a little off center. Some
Yeah, I would
chipping, I would
say-
say 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say an 8, so 7 or 8.
6?
Golly, that's tough.
That's such a cool card too.
The Double Crisis Kyogre EX. That is a severe loss.
That
That is brutal.
That sucks.
That feels really harsh.
It does. This one looks similar, I would say.
It looked a little better in my eyes,
Ready?
but
7.
got a 7.
Okay. I mean,
The front is
Mew
pretty
EX.
off center.
Mew EX. It's a cool card from Dragons Exalted 2012, like black and white era.
That's cool.
I feel like a 7 is probably still a value increase. I
Probably,
don't know. I
yeah.
haven't checked. But still a 7 is like, I'd almost rather have it raw and
I agree.
keep it
Yeah,
near
that
mint, you know? Here's this one. That looks pretty good. Bottom right, a little bit of
a
chipping.
little bit chipping here.
I would guess an 8.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm at too.
Okay. Here we go. You got to be kidding me.
Gosh.
A 5.
What?
I don't understand. What are we
There's
missing?
some scratching on the bottom right. I can see.
Okay.
But a 5?
That's wild. So the front must just have a ton of scratching we're not seeing.
Gosh. This one's pretty off-center top to bottom.
Yeah, I can see that. There might
Shipping
be a
is
little bit of
minimal.
shipping.
I'd
Yeah,
say
again,
7.
7 or 8. But
Here we go.
7.
Oh.
Such a big card too, dude. 7, I'll
So
take.
a 7 is. I feel like it's still a value increase on that card.
You want to check that as we look at the next one?
Yeah.
So it's the 2014 Gengar from Phantom Forces. This is the chase card. Near mint. I'm still happy that I'm at least happy it's a near mint. It's 114 out of 119 for the card number. PSA 7. I don't know. We'll take it, I guess. This
That's
one does
rough.
not look very good. Top right, kind of rough. Bottom right, kind of rough. I would guess a 6 on this.
Yeah.
And
that's-
again, we're only basing it off the back because we
Right, because
we
we're
want
not
to be
looking-
blind here.
Yeah.
So we'll flip it around. These are all big cards.
Oh.
The Snorlax.
Got a 6.
6. I mean, that is what I guessed in this case, so it feels less brutal than the Mewtwo. But yeah, it's huge card. Huge card.
So I mean, the good news on this one is a 7 is still like almost double raw,
Really.
depending on the raw sales. But so like raw is
Which are all
like
over.
$350, 7 is like $650 to $700.
Okay, so I think that's why I sent a lot of these off, because I was
That makes
seeing that and
sense.
I'm like, okay, even if I get a 7, it's going to cost me, I think it averaged out to like $60-something a card because they're in a higher tier
Yeah.
with higher insurance. And they get you, if your card's more valuable, they charge you
Yeah.
more to grade it, even though it's the same service. I understand why people get upset about that, but this feels pretty strong to me. This
I was
feels like
just
an
gonna
8.
say that looks pretty good.
Top to bottom centering's off, but I think it's still a potential 8 based on the back.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, wow. There we
An
go.
8. Okay, so that's a pretty big increase. I don't remember what it was, but
So PSA 8 might put this in the closer to $1,000 range if
think
I had
so.
to guess. So that's a win. I'd say that's officially no-brainer. That's a win. And
yeah, it's
8
closer. Depending on the sales, it could be $1,000. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All
that's
right. We'll
that's
take it.
cool.
We'll take it. This one has got some wear. Top, a lot of chipping. I would say like 6 optimistically.
Oh, I was gonna say a 6 too.
Were you?
Well, I was thinking a 7, but with how
Good,
things have been
yeah.
going.
All right, here we go.
6.
Man,
That's tough because that's the ultra rare Charizard.
So there is a question of, are grades harsher now because of how much modern is being sent in? I mean, like the Umbreon from Evolving Skies, I think has like 21,000 nines or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, it's interesting. I think if you look at the macro scale, it's like the percentage of cards that grade a 10 versus a 9 based on different sets is usually pretty consistent. But on the micro scale, like in this case, it seems pretty weird on some of
it
these.
does.
So yeah, it's interesting. This looks good to me.
That I mean, I don't see
the
any
best
chipping,
looking
the centering.
Tiny chipping.
And
I would say an
Just
8.
a little bit left to right, maybe.
An 8 feels reasonable here. Maybe a 9.
It should be an 8, at least an 8.
Okay, let's see. I don't remember which card this is. A 7? What? That's brutal because, yeah, these cards, if they get high grade, are just insane and would be amazing collection pieces, but when you get a 7 or a 6,
That
that is a bummer. You guys can let us know what you think, but I do still have one more card. And my main question for this, if you have thoughts on it, is how do you decide what's worth grading on this type of card? Because we established a 7 pretty much doubles the value of this card, and double and a half on this one. So it's worth it. Now, the 6 or a 7 for these, I don't know. And honestly, like, would you rather have near mint raw for that? Could you sell it for $700? If somebody's like, yeah, that could be a PSA 7, I don't think so.
yeah, I would
don't
say
know.
it's certainly a lot easier to sell this card raw than in a 7, I would say. Like, it's going to sell a lot faster, for sure.
If you're selling it for $350,
True.
would you want, like, if it was me and I had to sell it for $350 or keep it, I'm keeping it. But I wouldn't put a $700 sticker on it because it's not graded. You can't sell it
Right,
for a
yeah.
graded price. So that's where
It is
like,
strange.
this Pokemon, part of Pokemon is very interesting and difficult to figure out for me. And maybe other people got it figured out, but I'm learning. And I am overall disappointed with these grades. If we would
Still
have gotten
really
some
cool
nines,
cards.
that really would have helped. But yeah, this last one, this is actually a regrade, Sky Guys. So we did do a test here.
Oh.
This is a PSA 6 sent back to PSA. And
Okay.
it's a card that I'm keeping no matter what. It's a Gold Star Celebi, PSA 6. And PSA, they charged me for this one. They charged me $183.99 to grade it because the potential value was really high. So they just said, you got to send that for the rapid, ultra crazy grading thing. And your insurance is really expensive, even though it could have graded a 1 and they still would have charged me. I don't understand that. That being said, it's a big card. 7.
You got a 7.
So it did bump a grade. I think a PSA 6 is around $1,000, maybe 1,100.
Okay.
And
Any idea
I
what a 7
think a
is?
7 is around 12 to 1,300.
Oh, that's honestly less of a bump than I thought there would be.
So I paid $183.99 to bump the value about $100.
I'm not gonna fist bump you for that, Chase.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You're a good friend.
Well, now it looks better in the slab.
I would rather have a 7, and that's near mint. We bumped it to near mint instead of EX-MT. So
You know, I do
I like that better
That
for
it
the
does look better.
collection.
I agree.
I'll take it. Was it a good financial decision? Probably not, but this was more of a collection decision in that case. What do you guys think? Let us know. But come to our card show if you're anywhere near Battle Creek, Michigan, Lakeview Square Mall, March 21st. We will be there. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.